What's going on, family? We are back for our day 4 of our 15 days of Grimfel. And what we are doing, you probably have guessed by now, is we're going track by track, and we're doing every single song from his newest project, Soft Ground Angel. Every track has been super fire so far. Like I said, it's hard to pick a favorite, really, of like what has happened so far, because they're all different in their own way, but they flow like really well together so far. It sounds very, very cohesive, the first 3 tracks of this so far. So I would imagine that No Crown for Ghosts is going to fit like right into that same kind of vibe, right? I have reacted to this before. I believe I did this on a live stream before we started doing all of the family artists, especially people like Grimfel off stream. I'm pretty sure I did this one on stream once. I don't think I ever posted it though. So yeah, you'd have to go like find that live stream, I think, in order to find my original thoughts on it. But let's go ahead and get into my second round with the video with No Crown for Ghosts. Let's check it out.
I was never seen. Carve me up till I fetch your scratch, but I must remind you there's no hope for the sad. I'm buried. They're not our friends. They're...
The screams in this one, baby. Oh my god. It sounds like he's like screaming in I don't know, it sounds like it's like in like a smaller like room, like a washroom or something, right? Or like where like it would like echo like off the walls that way. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like the kind of like a smaller room enclosed where it would kind of echo. I don't know. It sounds super sick. I want to talk about the lyrics of this one. I want to break it down as we go through it. Nail me to a cross. I was never a saint. Carve me up till I fit your script. But I must remind you, there's no hope for the sick. Ugh, that's so fire. That's so fire. I'll hold that thought. Cause the ones you worship are depraved, and they don't deserve you even speaking their name. Your heroes are all fake messiahs, fucking liars who have no shame, and I think we should bury them. They're not our friends. No, they're not our friends. They don't give a fuck about us. We're nothing to them, but it means to an end. I love the tie together with the nail to the cross to the saint line, right? And the hope for the sick. But I must remind you, there's no hope for the sick. I can't remember which video it was where I was talking about this, but we had talked about how a lot of times people will stand on these like religious high horses, and they automatically assume that because you might look a certain way or you might live under a certain live a certain lifestyle, just because of who you are, that you are like a sick person. But that's not the case, right? And I think that he kind of like ties like the idea and the premise of like beyond the idea of just the religious thing, beyond that idea and the idea of these people that we put on pedestals here on earth with us, right? Where in a lot of ways we worship these people because, you know, we just turn a blind eye for like to like everything that they do, because we like them, even if the things that they're doing are terrible. You know what I mean? Very much like kings and queens. Very much like you know, people that run countries type shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should really be worshipped like that, no matter who they are. There's a difference between having admiration for people and looking up to people, and there's a difference between worship. And I think a lot of times what we're seeing is people worshiping other human beings like they are something more special than the next person. And in all reality, we talked about this in previous Grimfel reactions. Nobody's better than anybody. We are all just flesh and blood, and we are all the same species. We're all just human beings on this planet. Nobody is better than the next person. There is a lot of truth to that statement, as much as I fucking hate it, that everybody does put their pants on one leg at a time. We are all the same, even though I hate the people that use that are the people that still look down upon us. You know what I mean? Because if you're using that kind of verbiage, a lot of times it's trying to pretend like you don't think that you are better than me, but I know that you think that you are. You know what I'm saying? Ah, shit. Let's keep going.
Not our friends. They don't give a fuck about us, no. We're nothing to them, but I mean to an end. No crown for ghosts, nowhere to go. We've gone home. We're all just out the lights. You worship for your place. Time takes not that's our feeling that's making the time. Giant bombs around. Find the science shot. Fucking quiet. Bow down. You think your king's on plastic throne, throwing stones from glass-built homes. Slow remorse for the pain you cause. You've built a fan base from on your crowd would go so on. The taste of just makes our name in the cold. The crowd would go.
Ay. You know, I played stupid in the last video, and I was like, oh, I wonder if it's going to go up in tempo or not. But I was like, I do remember this song. And I feel like I did a pretty good job of trying to like sell it on to like the next row of like, huh, does Johnny not remember that he did that? But the only people that would even remember that I even had seen this song in the first place would probably be the people who were on that live stream with me that day. I'm trying to remember what I talked about in that one. I think I talked a lot about the video in that particular video. But in this one, I'm still stuck on the lyrics. I still want to still talk about the lyrics. Where were we? Where were we? No crown for Gus, no crown for Gus. Oh, where to go? We got no home, we're all alone. Cause the ones you worship are depraved, and they don't deserve you even speaking their name. Your heroes are all fake messiahs, fucking liars who have no shame. You think you're kings on plastic thrones, throwing stones from glass-built homes. There's no remorse for the pain you cause. You've built a fan base from all your flaws. No crown for ghosts. Oh, oh, a feast for the crows. Erased our name in the code. No crown for ghosts. Your heroes are all fake messiahs. We repeated it again. You know what I mean? Like, the message was the same about like 2/3 of the entire lyrics. You think you're kings on plastic thrones, throwing stones from a glass-built home. I think that ties into a lot about what I was saying earlier. So I'm not really going to necessarily repeat myself there. And I do remember and recall that the first time I listened to this, I think I talked about how the fact that like he was sitting on that throne when he talked about the thrones. And then there was like the glass house that broke when he had the stones part. So like how he ties the different lyrics together with different visuals in a lot of ways in a lot of his videos. Not every single lyric is tied to every single particular image, but a lot of times it'll match up in a lot of ways that way. Like, we see a lot of that consistency in that throughout the videos that he makes his way. I think that the overall messaging of this song for me personally is really just kind of going back to what I kind of said a little bit about everything in the beginning, right? Where nobody should be worshipped. We do a lot of praising on this channel, right? We do a lot of uplifting of people, especially the artists that create this music. But I don't think that we worship anybody, right? We all recognize that these are all people behind the masks and behind the music, right? That it's about trying to support the art that they create. And it's cool to fanboy. It's cool to fangirl. It's cool to kind of like, put people like in this kind of like, artist and artistic, sphere kind of thing. But I think the reality of a lot of, for a lot of people is sometimes we kind of forget that these people are human. And even in a fun world like the music, right, where we're talking about artists and stuff like that, nobody should be worshipped. And there's some people out there that feel like they think that they should be worshipped. We're not going to name no names. We're not going to do all that. I don't think. But if you listen to enough of my shit and have been around for long enough, you might have heard me take a shot or two. If you've been hanging around the Foxtrot family for a minute, you might have heard me take a shot or two in some people's directions, but we won't say no names. Let's go talk about placement now. We're at the point of the song or the video where we're talking about the placement of this song within the structure, right? We are on track 4 now of this project. 1, 2, 3, perfect flow, right into number 4. It, like the way that it has like this kind of like the like I don't know what to call that energy, but it's got like this I don't know, sinister kind of feel to it, right? Where it's just like kind of like, yeah, this is that energy shift that I was talking about, where it's just like he gonna go in a direction where he gonna give us a little bit of that too. You know what I mean? So I don't know what Plastic Heart's gonna be. Again, you know, I feel like what he has done from at least for the time that I've been a fan in the last 2 projects, I really like the way that he structures his albums this way. So I don't know what he's gonna give it to us in the next one. We will be back for day 5 tomorrow for Plastic Hearts. I don't know. It could be anything. I don't know. We'll be back tomorrow for day 5. Make sure, again, this video is out. If it's out at this point, then the video is out there in the world. So you need to make sure that you're doing all the boosting, all the supporting, all the comments on the videos. I don't care what it is. You know what I mean? You need to go out there and do it. And especially if you've already seen this video, do it again. Just go ahead and make another comment. Like I said, it's magic. It'll push it to the next person, I promise, that needs to hear this shit. See you for day 5. Don't forget to... Man, my brain just fried. Man, I just completely lost my my train of thought on that one. Oh, boy. Be kind to a stranger. Tell somebody that you love them. And if you haven't, join the Foxtrot family. There is always room for you.